All right, hello and good afternoon. This is Wes with Abby Giese, and I'm going to be doing a couple of training videos here for you guys. This is going to be, the first one here is going to be on Measure. Now this is going to be a multi-part setup because the file size dictates that I keep it at a reasonable thing. So we're probably looking at about 5 to 10 minute videos. I will keep an eye on that for you guys and try to keep them down. So as you can see, I've got Measure open already. I'm going to continue to, we need to open up a file here so we can start working on it. Now I'm going to try to show you guys as much as I can with how this program works, from opening files and things like that. The drawing portion of it, I don't think we need as much, so at least for the sales representatives. The Measure people will definitely need to know that, and that, may be covered on a different series. We'll see how that goes. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open from the cloud. That will be where most of your things come from, because your Measure people in the field will put them in the cloud. So just go ahead and click on that, and then it'll bring up this Open Cloud project, and it usually has a default name here, and then a bunch of different names of people that have it. We're going to go ahead and go to My File, and we're going to work on the top one here. This is for Janet Setterigi, so one I measured just yesterday. So you click on the name, and then you click the open box, or I think you can double click. We'll see. Yeah, you can double click it. So all right, now as we can see, we've got a room here that's with a hall. I also have steps here, and we can check and see if we have any product already assigned to the item here. I don't believe that I do because it's all white, but we'll go ahead and click on it. None there and none there. So first thing we need to do is we need to add a product, and the way that we're going to do that is first we need to know what product we've got. Janet picked, she's going to be doing some carpet in this family room of hers and on the steps. So we're going to go to Products, and we're going to click on that. And then this drop-down bar has Add a Product and Product List. We'll click on Add a Product. So as you can see, we're going to create a brand new product. We can always add a color to an existing product or create an add-on. So we'll have that is the default, and we'll leave that selected. Carpet or product tab here, it says carpet/roll. If we were doing a tile or vinyl tile or something like that, we could go to the tile, laminate, whichever one we needed. But we're going to do carpet today. We'll probably do another one here on another video. So Janet selected Mighty Waters. So we just type in the name there, and then we click on color name. And she also wanted Wisteria Star, which is one of our stock items. You can add another color if you'd like by doing this, and then that'll add another color line if you've got two different colors of the same product for that one. We only have the one color today, so we'll go ahead and delete that color. Actually, it doesn't look like it'll delete it, so that's fine. No big deal. We'll hit Next. All right, now it tells us what our roll width is. We know that our roll width is 12 feet for this one, and it is not a pattern good. If you have a pattern good, you just select this box, and then you can add in your patterns. Now, one thing about this is that I highly suggest learning patterns before you deal with them. Let the Measure people deal with that until you become better at the Measure program, because sometimes you have to change things and it doesn't work quite right. So we'll go ahead and unselect the pattern because this is not a pattern good, and go to Next. Now the sale unit is the square foot, square yards, square meters, linear foot, linear yard, linear meter. Obviously with roll goods, in RFMS they're listed in square yards, so that's what we want to match here, is the square yards there. I know we sell it by square foot in the stores, but we need square yards for the Measure program. So go ahead and select that. Make sure that your other things here are right. You can put in price per unit if you'd like, things like that. Extra waste, I don't suggest putting that in there unless there's a reason for it. Say the measure person requests you to put in extra waste or something like that. But typically don't touch those. Usable roll width, we already put that in there. Cut gap. Cut gap is always at least 3 inches, not always 3 inches. The reason being is, and why I say at least, is because with some of our pattern goods or harder to seam items, we may add, a 6-inch cut gap instead. So, but the 3 inches will always give you the minimum of what we need. So if you put 3 inches in there, you can't, nobody's gonna get too upset with that usually. All right, now max T-seams. This is always 2. It's set to 3, but it should say 2. We don't want to do more than 2 T-seams in a room unless we absolutely have to. Usually that's gonna, if we do 3 T-seams, it would be like a frisee carpet that's very easy to seam, something like that. But in general, make this a 2. That's the way better way to do it. If you have a burr or a pattern good, I usually make this 1 because T-seams are much more difficult with those. And maybe even do a 0 if you don't want that to be T-seamed. Just put that in there and that helps. But the default should be 2. All right, and then we hit next and we get to the add-on page. The add-on page is really the last page we need. We don't do, I don't typically do add-ons, but you can if you want to add pad in there and things like that, if you want to make a quote in Measure versus in RFMS. Measure, you don't need it though. So then just click the finish button and you're good to go. So we've added the product. Now there is one more thing that we need to change with the product before we do that though. And this is always with roll good carpets. You go to, you need to go back up to products and hit product list. And here's why, is this box right here is, oh, let's go ahead and make that smaller. I just realized that some of that was off the screen. This cut gap method, this is important. Full width is what it's set at as default, what it comes up as, but we want this to be add to all sides. So go ahead and select that and then hit OK. All right, so now we have our product entered into the system. That's how you enter in carpet for non-pattern goods. If you have any questions, talk to your manager, talk to me when I do an in-store training session. However, I'm going to make that part 1, and we'll pick up from there on the next video.